Hey girl, welcome to episode 64 of the Mompreneur Mastermind Show. Today, this is super cool because it's the very first time I'm doing a live consultation call on the air. And I decided to do this because first I want to show you how to have a real authentic conversation with your potential customer or client. And I also want to teach you how to solve problems for your avatar, because when you start to gain more trust, as you start to filter through people that potentially want to work with you, the best way, and I'm talking massive conversion, is to have an honest conversation. And whether you do this over the phone or over Zoom, you can take someone from thinking about working with you actually through that hurdle that they have and get them to the other side. And here's the beauty of this, you guys. If I can do these consultation chats in 15 minutes and somebody decides to work with me, fantastic. Or decides to take a course with me, great, because I know that that's going to help them. However, even if they don't work with me, these calls are so invaluable to me because I can now better understand my ideal client. I can hear from her where she's struggling. I can start to notice trends from the women that I'm speaking to. I can help them solve problems in their business. And I think that's a huge win. So before we dig into my live consultation chat with Celestia, I've got to read you this review of the week. This review is left on iTunes. It's titled, "Stef Just Gets Me," 5 stars by Mrs. Tofani. Stef gets real. She speaks to my heartstrings as a mama, as a woman, and as a business owner. I feel like we're having a chat and she just understands. She brings encouragement, truth, humor, and love, plus tons of personality through the mic, and I just love it. Over here, binge listening. Thank you, Erin. I know that's you. I'm so excited about your review. Thank you. I do get you. I totally get you guys because I am you. And hearing from you, hearing from my community, and just having that confirmation that you guys are loving the show, it means the world to me. So if you want to thank me for this podcast, for the hours and hours of free training that I put out into the world, go to iTunes now, pause this episode, sister, and leave me a written review. You have no idea how much it helps the show and how much it makes me smile. What's up, Mama Boss? Welcome back to the Mompreneur Mastermind Show. I'm Stephanie Gass, success strategist and passive income queen creator. If you're ready to step into your God-led potential, create profit from your passions, and capture the success that is already yours, this podcast was made for you. As always, you can find out more and connect with me over at stephaniegass.com. So grab that cup of coffee or fill up that glass of wine and let's dig into today's show. All right, boss, super pumped to dig into this. This conversation is with Celestia French, and Celestia booked this consultation call with me, and this was what she said. Too many ideas to launch at once. I'm a holistic wellness and beauty consultant with 2 young kiddos, 4 and 1 year olds. I work when they sleep. Overall vision is a scalable business that can make a positive difference in the world, earn a decent living, and still keep my family as my top priority. I have a Shopify shop, but want to focus more on creating amazing evergreen wellness programs and high-end coaching experiences that I will host on Teachable. I believe in the power of podcasting, and I think that that could be a great option to help grow my brand, but not sure if I have enough time to do that and create programs on Teachable at the same time. Can you help me develop a short and long-term strategy? Thank you. Let's dive in.
So thank you for taking the time to meet with me. How do we begin?
Why don't you start by telling me about you, your life and your family, and then let's dig into like the number one question or like constraint that you think you have right now.
Okay. So I am Celestia. Hello. I am a mom of 2. I have a wonderful husband also. We live in Durango, Colorado.
Oh, nice.
We love it.
Durango.
It's so pretty. It's a great place to be and a great place to raise a family. So raising a family is definitely my top priority, but I also know that I have other soul callings, and have been working for the last, I don't know, probably 10 or 15 years on collecting different certifications and different types of education and research in order to fulfill that calling. And I think I'm getting that a little bit more narrowed down. So I'm certified as a yoga therapist. I'm also certified as a wellness coach, and I am getting certified as a nutrition coach. But I'm already working with new people nutritionally because I've done so much research in the last 10 years just on my own. So, but really my overall goal in this life is to help people, but really specifically, I think right now working with women, and specifically either working moms or professional women, all of whom who definitely have tendencies to just do too much and burn themselves out. And so what I am really, my goal is to help offer them really simplified tools that are specific to their goals, to help them, whether it is just to feel better, have more sustained energy, whether they need to gain or lose weight, depending on specifically what their needs are. I really am passionate about helping. I feel like the moms and the women are the glue, and we are the ones who are going to help create a better society and a better world and a healthier, not only healthier families, but just a healthier planet. So I feel like that's the one thing I can do in this life, especially being kind of in the trenches for the last 4 years with my kids, and just being like, oh my gosh, I am so tired, and like, I am so hungry, and I have no time and no energy, and I'm not sleeping. And it's like, oh, okay, well, these are the few little things that I can do for myself to help myself feel better and be a better wife and mom and just civilian. So, so that's kind of what I'm up to. And that's what I'm really passionate about. I also do a lot of work with crystals and essential oils as tools to help people feel better. So those are like kind of the side components of my business. But overall, and I know I'm on a really long rant, so I'm going to narrow it down to my one question for you is, I've started a Shopify shop that has my high vibration like crystals. I've got essential oils and clothing in there, and then also high-end coaching and consulting. And so I'm trying to figure out how to merge those. I've created platforms both on Teachable, and I'm really interested in podcasting also, and I do have history in radio production. So how do I bring this all to fruition? I need to figure out like a 6-month plan, a 1-year plan, and a 5-year plan, just to like, what are my next steps? Because I am like supernova mode right now, and I know it's too much, and I know I can do it all, but I have like this much childcare, so I'm working like an hour and a half a day when my kids are asleep, and that's it. And that'll change, and I know that'll shift, but yeah, like that's why I've really enjoyed your work, because it has really helped me to maximize that relatively small chunk of time on a daily basis, so I can be mom and be present, and and be part of my family.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I love that you are me, because, and here's the beauty of that. It's you worked backwards. So the beauty of that is you already have this brand. You already have it. And so while you may feel like, oh, I have all these things, the beauty is you already have the ways to monetize, right?
Okay.
You already have the Shopify store. You're really clear on your umbrella branding, which for me, what I'm seeing is like the holistic yogi mama. Like that's what I'm seeing, right?
Hey.
And so imagine I want you to think about for a minute, you already have the ways to monetize, and your categories are their wellness, it's holistic health, and it's yoga, right? Like these are the things that are lighting you up. That's clear. Like I can tell when you talk about it,
Yeah.
So if these are the things that are lighting you up, and you already have Shopify, you're already offering coaching now. So you already have that. We'll talk about coaching in a minute, because I think you want to automate that process right now, being that you have limited time with the kids.
Right.
What's missing, I believe, is the platform, right?
Yes.
And that's what happened with me. I had the courses first, and then I'm like, okay, these same 10, 15, 20 people are buying from me all the time, but what if I could reach 1,000 people? What if I could scale, right? In an automated way? And that's where podcasting is going to come in. So I want you to think about, okay, if you had this podcast, and do you have a name for do you already have a name for your brand?
Yes, it's called La Bella Una, and it basically means the beautiful one. And I feel like that's, it's just an expression of our individual beauty and vibrance and well-being. So yes, and I have a logo, and I've got all of that already done. That's like the last 3 months have been just hit the ground running. And now I just ran my first group nutrition program. And so I feel like I could turn that into like my first course, but I have like 4 gajillion course ideas. And that's my other problem is like, too many. Thank you, all this divine inspiration, but like so fast, just I need to like chill out and do like 1 or 2 at a time.
Exactly. So here's step 1.
Yes.
Get the podcast going, right? Because you can already start monetizing with the Shopify and the crystals. And as you're building this platform, and I could see you focusing on 3 things. Let's say you have these 3 categories that you teach. One is, yoga and maybe fitness. The second one would be like holistic health. And this might be, maybe you do a guided meditation. Maybe you have crystal therapy. And then you go into like, you're searching for these really holistic moms that are searching for mind, body, spirit balance, right?
Exactly.
So you're going to teach on that on your show. And I like to teach the gals to have 3 topics, and you're going to rotate. So like, let's say episode 1 is holistic health. Episode 2 is guided meditation, meditations or mindful spirit, right? That type of thing. The third one, maybe you're doing nutrition or wellness, right?
Okay.
And you're just rotating, boom, 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 boom. And these can be, being that you have limited time, once a week. You don't have to go crazy here, right?
Right.
But the beauty of this is, let's say you do a 20-minute episode once a week. You're on here with me on Zoom right now, right? Mm-hmm. Guess what? When we're done and I stop recording this episode, I'm going to have all these options. I have an MP4 already there. It's a video. If I wanted to share this, like let's say you decided you're going to share your podcast recording on YouTube, on Facebook, you'd have the video.
Right.
You also get an MP3 at the same time. Oh, wow. I now have an audio file. I'm going to upload that to my podcast. So you're able to repurpose the same teachings that you're already doing everywhere. Okay.
Right.
So then here's the beauty of having this podcast is people want free, right?
Yes.
They want to learn from you. You have a great speaking voice. You're very confident.
I sound like a trumpet right now, but usually I sound okay.
You sound perfect to me. And so we always sound weird to ourselves, But
totally.
Imagine you're coming on and these girls are starting to find you, right? And podcasting is the fastest organic growth I've ever had, as you know.
Yeah.
So people are finding you, and guess what you're doing in your podcast? You're saying, today's episode is a mindful episode. So if you want to get started with your own crystal beginner set, you're going to head to shopify.com/blah, blah, blah. Purchase your beginner set, and then maybe you have an opt-in for them that's like beginner crystals checklist or something, right?
Right.
So then the second piece of this is course, like it's longer term vision, right? So in the initial 6 months, I'm telling you, it's podcast, it's building the platform so that you can grow faster and reach more women. Now, the next goal, how do you then get your focus on what's the next course or the next way to monetize? So if you pick these 3 topics and you've got wellness, you've got yoga, and then you've got mindfulness and the meditation, you really want 3 products that fuel each category, right?
Okay.
So I think that your crystals and your Shopify, your items, your products will probably go, I don't know what you think, but probably mindful. Any episode where you're teaching meditation, crystal therapy, intro to crystals, you're selling crystals.
Right.
Well, anytime you're talking about fitness, wellness, and yoga, you need to have something to sell them that has to do with fitness.
And would something like meal plan and like the coaching kind of product, would that potentially be the right product? Or am I trying to think of a product that is more scalable longer term? Because I see myself as really wanting to work with people individually for the time being, but I see, like you're saying, just really wanting to reach a larger group of people. And so that's why I'm so interested in platforms like Teachable, which I already bought for the year. So thanks to you, actually.
Good.
You were the person who inspired me to look into that. So thank you. I think that you're right. Podcasting is such a wonderful way and such an intimate way to grow a following and to really help people, because I mean, gosh, I can't think of anything more intimate. What's great about podcasting is they can do it anytime, anywhere. And I think especially for your and my ICA, our ideal client avatars, that's such a valuable way for them to take in information and really to be able to get value for free, like you say. So,
Oh my goodness. Y'all, believe it or not, Podcast Pro University is literally live in the world, and there are already students and people are launching their podcasts left and right, and I'm blown away at the responses I've had to this course. Do I have you considering starting your own podcast by now? I sure hope so. I wanted you to know that I put together a 45-minute live training webinar that you can come and learn more. Figure out if podcasting might be right for you. I talk about how you monetize a podcast, 10 steps to starting your own show, ways that a podcast can help you grow your brand, and why podcasting has been the #1 platform for me and my business in the last 12 months. I'll meet you inside the training. Head over to bit.ly/10 steps to podcasting, the number 10, bit.ly/10 steps to podcasting, and save your seat. And that's where you build trust, because they can go online, right? And go to Google or go to YouTube and be like, yoga for beginners or crystals. But the thing is, if they're already listening to your podcast,
right,
they now have a trust in you as the person that they want to work with at a deeper level. I think the initial strategy is podcasting, pouring into that for 6 months, repurposing that content. And I would say in those, and you know your categories better than me, but those 3. Then the next step, I hear you on wanting to work with people, but that should be your most premier option.
Right.
So you want to develop some type of mini course that is fully self-study on Teachable. Okay. This is your bridge from maybe you have like intro to yoga and macro rebalancing for mamas, and it's a mini course. And this mini course is $97. And this mini course, let's say that it has 5 modules, and you take them through a week's worth of mini yoga workouts. And then you've got an easy, simple meal plan that will fit most people's needs. Maybe you have a shopping list PDF for them.
I do.
So that might be what's packaged in. $97 gets them through 30 days of yoga and meal planning or something like this. And this is me just in 2 seconds. So you really have to think through that. Okay.
Right. No, I love it.
So what does that do? That, for the majority of your listeners, they're going, ooh, 97. I'm going to go ahead and do that option before I work with her. The beauty of this is you're not meeting with everyone, right? You're only meeting with the people that go, ooh, I loved her course so much. Now I want to hire her for private coaching or for more implementation, right? And so now you get to charge a premium for an hour of your time.
Exactly.
Instead of meeting with everybody, and you don't want to work with everybody, you want to work with your ideal human being, you know?
Exactly.
So maybe you have to start, that would be like an initial course. And I really like entry-level pricing because you can always scale it up. If you start too high and then realize, you know, you can't go backwards and be like, well, Bobby already bought this at $497, but now it's only $200. So I think starting it kind of, especially your first course, because you're going to learn, you're going to grow, you're going to shift your course over time. Starting it at that kind of maybe 97, maybe 197. If you're like, this has like so much gold in here, and you want it, don't add fluff. You want it to be really to the point. Like I would say, if I was to buy from you and I need an intro to nutrition and yoga for my practice, okay? At home, I've got kids, I'm really busy. I think I would pay, right without thinking about it, I would pay $97 if you gave me 5 intro to yoga, at-home workouts from your course. Maybe you give me this macro plan that I can get through a month's worth of eating, and you explain this nutrition with me. And then maybe that final ad is you add them into a Facebook group, right? Where now they're a part of this sisterhood community of all of your students.
Yeah.
And maybe
which I already have in place, actually. Yeah,
okay.
I just created that exactly for my group nutrition plan. So a lot of like exactly what you just said is what I just did 2 weeks ago, but I'm trying to expand it and refine it so it's really spot on for my ideal client avatar. But you like just exactly described what I just did. That's so funny. That's awesome.
I love it.
I'm on the right track. I feel like that's really, really good confidence builder.
Yes. you're going to launch that podcast, girlfriend, with that. Like I want you to launch that show as fast as possible because you can build the course in the background, right?
Well, and that's what I'm like, real talk, just literally in terms of timing. Like, I really love your strategy on batch working on everything. When that's really what I'm trying to, it's like, okay, if I have 2 hours of childcare on a Tuesday, I'm going to just knock out all my podcast stuff. On Thursdays, if I have another hour or two, then I'm just going to work on all my group coaching, whatever. Really, my biggest questions for you are how much time it takes to podcast, like to record, because I haven't sound edited in such a long time and I could probably do it all myself, but do you recommend outsourcing at least the sound editing portion? And like, is it a gajillion dollars? Because I don't have a ton of extra money to spend on this. So I want to do it correctly, but I also don't want to spend $1 million right off the bat.
In my course, I go into all of the different options for that. I initially started editing myself and it was way too much time.
Yeah.
And not happening. So I did that for a couple weeks, and I do show you guys how to edit in the course if they want to. But I found that if I outsource, it costs me $20 an episode.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Seriously?
They do the sound, the music, change the amplifications and clean up all my ums and all the things, all of it for $20. And so I teach you guys in the podcast course, like how to do that. Like, where do I find all of those resources for editing and outsourcing all the things, because time is money. And so minimum time, let's say you did 1 episode a week, and let's say it was 20 minutes. I think that you would spend once you're done setting up the podcast, because you need to get an intro done. You have some artwork and channel stuff you need to create, and you have to decide, are you going to do interviews on your show? So we go into all of those things. But when you're done with the setup, I think you could get away with 1 hour per week, 20 minutes of recording, as long as you're outlining your stuff. So let's say an hour, because you're going to outline everything for that week. You're going to record it. Then you might spend 20 minutes promoting it, sharing it on Facebook and Instagram, and maybe you're going to share it over to YouTube and do all the things, repurpose it. It's just sharing. It's not hard. So I think you can get away with minimum an hour and a half of time.
Okay.
The beauty of that is once you've scaled, that's an hour and a half, and you've now built a evergreen marketing machine.
Yeah.
Because your podcast lives on forever. Okay. Instead of going to YouTube Facebook, and you're doing a live, that dies off in 24 hours. People aren't searching for all your old stuff, but when they find your podcast, they're binge listening.
Oh yeah.
You listen to shows.
Yes. Oh, I listen to you. I'm like, hey girl. It's so funny. I just like having a conversation with you. It's awesome.
I love it. See? And that's what your clients are going to do for you.
Yeah.
And so it lives on forever. And then people, once they start to listen to you and they've heard 5 or 10 episodes, there's no doubt in their mind they want to work with you. Right?
Okay. Well, here's hoping.
So that's where you spend your time. Even though it's free, you're like, what? I'm not making any money for this. It's the fastest way to return an income in the future.
Right.
So you're spending an hour and a half there. And then I think if you can batch and say, if I can get a babysitter this day, or even a full weekend to go hide somewhere, knock out some type of, some type of mini course, you now have all these ways to monetize. Shopify store, crystals. You can do affiliate marketing too. If there's a different program that you love that fits in with your niche, you can get 30% for recommending other people's stuff on your show, right?
Right. Yeah, no, that's huge. And I think that I really would try to at least batch in, like at least record 2 per week. So that way, when you had your surgery, for example, I was so thankful that you had an opportunity to do all that stuff so that you could take the time off that you needed to really recuperate. Cause that's legit. Like after listening to your intro to podcasting, like 10 ways or the 10 steps to start a podcast, like I already listed out the first 30 people who I want to interview. And like, I had figured out that I'd wanted to do like a weekly 20 to 30 minute podcast with me talking for one of them, 2 interviews, and then the last one would be like a guided meditation or a yoga nidra, which is another really, so I mean, like it's happening, like it's already kind of writing itself, but I'm just like, do I have the time for this? And
you do. Like if you're already you're trying to come up with content on Instagram, right? You're writing the blogs, the blog, you brought that up. I mean, you're pouring our time into content creation, all these videos. We could do one thing, recording a podcast, save it everywhere we're already showing up. We could translate it for $5 get the words written down, put it in the
Yeah.
blog. So you almost don't have time not to do this.
Right. You're totally right.
And I think that this is the missing component, because you already have the brand, the vision, the passion, the products. You can start making money from it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's the platform.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. I totally agree. And I'm amazed that you've been able to figure out how to get it transcribed and edited for like $25.
It's amazing. I'm telling you, people were like, there's this podcasting group online that I'm part of, and all these people are talking about their editors, and they're like trying to be so fancy and overcomplicate everything. And people are like, oh, I pay $75, or like this person was like, I paid $200 and they do the PQ3 of the EQ3 of the Q sound. And I'm like, you guys, this is ridiculous. People are they just want to hear your content. They don't care if you sound like Mariah Carey on the air, you know?
Right. Totally. So funny.
Simplify it. Let's make this effective, fast, inexpensive.
I'm way into it. I think it's a fantastic idea. I just need to sit with this and figure out what my best next step is in terms of working with you, because I have huge respect for you. I'm so thankful to even have an opportunity to have this time with you today and to get to hear your voice in person pretty much. That's such a huge gift, and these beautiful ideas.
How much did you guys enjoy that live consultation chat that I just had? I absolutely loved and enjoyed that because, first and foremost, she was just so receptive to all of my ideas. And really what I saw as the biggest constraint for her was she's a multi-passionate person. So she's excited about all of these different areas. She has different focuses when it comes to monetizing, which is her Shopify store, coaching, course creation. But the beauty of it is she has the drive and the potential and the excitement to really grow something incredibly beautiful if she brings it all together, right? And so that's where I recommended that she start a podcast, because where she's lacking, and what you guys heard in the consult form that she had filled out, it was a fledgling business. How do I grow the platform? The blog isn't doing well. I'm in too many directions. So if you create one cohesive platform, which in her case is a podcast because she's speaking to women and mamas, then she's able to pull from that 3 categories that fuel her business. Obviously, you heard all about that in the call, and then monetize it using some of the things she already has. And then I helped her identify one topic that for an online study course that can fuel the other 2 topics. So I've now solved a problem for her. Whether she chooses to run with that advice and get busy on that Google search bar, hey, that's a huge win. I've now taken a better understanding into my ideal human being, and then probably she's going to choose to work with me in some capacity in the future. And that's also a win. So I want you guys to take from that what you need to start getting on the phone with your leads, with the people that you can help, and then solve a problem for them. Keep your boundaries, because yes, those can turn into hour-long conversations. So let them know you have 15 minutes and then dig on in with them. I hope that was helpful. And I want to pray over you now. Beautiful human, little mama bear sitting over there on the other side of this speaker. I want to pray over you that you find the confidence that you need to leap, and you understand that you are worthy of success now. You are worthy of helping others. You have an immense call on your heart. You have a passion and a dream on purpose, and that God is here with you. He is opening doors for you if you will just allow him to show you the way, and you will just put on those shoes and take the step, sister. I promise you, over time, the answers will be revealed. I also want to remind you that there is no such thing as perfection. There is no such thing as knowing how before you ever try. And there also is no such thing as success without failure. So right here and now, I encourage you to leap, jump, take action on your dreams. I'm cheering for you. You've got God on your side, and I'm sending you hugs over the air. As always, love and light, Stef. Hey mama, real quick before you go, if you found value in today's podcast and you learned something new, if you'll head over to iTunes, the Mompreneur Mastermind Show, and leave a review and subscribe to the channel, that would be awesome. And I'd love to connect with you over on social media. My handle is @StephanieGass. I'll see you soon. Praying light, love, and abundance. Until next time.